We're going to do some practice for exam for CS 151, and we're going to look at 3 programs that we asked you to code up, and we're just going to go ahead and do the solutions for that. Okay, so the first question is asking us to get 2 integers from the user. So you would do input. All right, but then when you input those integers, they will be strings. If we want them to be integers, we can do it all in one line, or we could do it as 2 steps. Either way would be fine. So now we have 2 integers, and we want to have a loop that goes from the first integer all the way up to the second. This is a for loop. For going from x to y will be almost correct. Okay, we're going to run this. So 3 and 7. It went 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to go 1 further on the range, because range always goes 1 before this one. Okay, so that would be it for the first program. We're going to do the second program now. Okay, so this one here is just wanting to count down from 10 to 1 and then say blast off. So don't do this. This would be not the right way to do it. Right? So I don't want you to have 10 print statements. We should have a loop. So if we do a loop like this, then that will go not the way we want. All right, that goes 1 up to 10. So if we want to go the other way, we can look up help online, or we remember that we can give a third option here, and it says how much the I will change by each time. So if we say 10, 0, then it's going to start at 10. It's going to keep going until it gets to 0, and it's going to go down by 1. So let's see if that works. It does, and then after the loop, we'll print blast off. All right, so if I leave it right here, what do you think is going to happen if I run it? This is not going to be quite right. Okay, with the blast off right there, it's indented, and everything that's indented after this for loop is part of the for loop. So I need to do it like this, so we only print blast off once. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Another question, so with the indenting, what if I did this? So would this print OK be part of the for loop because it's indented? Let's see what happens. Read the error. Indentation error, unexpected indent. So this is not part of the for loop. Once we have something that's indented over where the for loop is, the for loop's done. So you could sort of cover this up. Once it gets to print blast off, that for loop is in the past. So this indentation here, Python says, what are you talking about? There should be an if or a while or something like that. Okay, so the rule for a for loop, remember, is everything that's indented is inside the for loop until the first thing that's not indented. So the first thing that's not indented That's after the for loop. Okay, let's do square. All right, so this one is asking to get an integer from the user. The file here calls it n, so I'll call my variable n as well. There's my n, and it wants to do n lines of input. That's going to be a loop. So if I go 0 to n, let's just do this first. Okay, so there I've got my 3 lines of input, but then I want it to be n zeros. This is one way to do it. Okay, and that'll work in general. You should try it on other values of n. Another way to do this, you could also do for I in range 0n, for j in range 0n, print just 1 0 with no end. So you could do this with nested loops. So this would print, the I loop would print 1 line, and the j loop prints 1 0. So we print however many zeros, never using new lines, and then at the end we print a new line after we get 1 line of zeros. So if you wanted to, you could do this. It's more typing, so I'd rather do this one. You could also do it, I think, in one print statement. So we could do, so 0 times n, that's going to be a string of n zeros. If I do this, then there's going to be a new line. And then if I do this, I'll do that n times. So we start inside the parenthesis. This is going to be n zeros. I add on a new line to that, and then I repeat that n times. So let's just see if that actually does it. Well, I should get 2 squares now because I have this printing a square and maybe this prints a square. Let's do it with 4. Okay, so there it is twice. There's 3 different ways to do it. All right, good luck.